What up, my freaks? RuinousInsight here with part, I want to say 39 of my Total Warhammer II modded Count Noctilus campaign. So, we left off on last episode where Two Toes Adley, though the army is yet incomplete, is in a relatively okay state right now, is getting attacked by Marcus Wolfheart, who does have a very nice stat that we can steal if we can manage to pull this one off. As we defend Zahootek, I really did want to get the trait onto our other character, or characters that are still in Lustria, now that, I guess, Adley is here. Although I suppose we can get it to Adley. We just gotta keep Marcus alive and then just take that trait from defeating him. Anyway, let's jump right into this battle. I guess we're gonna make it cinematic. I mean, they're attacking us after all. Should be still a fairly decent time, I would think. Let's find out. Alrighty, now I don't expect this to be too difficult, but I do expect it to be fun. I mean, look at the setup. We got a map that's actually fairly bad for the type of army that we have, which is an pretty much all ranged force, so we have to sort of position ourselves around these trees in the hopes that they don't interfere with our firing lines. We've also got a lot of little hills on the map, and basically not a lot going for us in terms of positioning, like we've had with all the various fights with Luther Harkin, unfortunately. But not to worry, we still have plenty of units that should fire, and I'm hoping that this will be a fun, good old-fashioned shootout. So, here we go. Here we go. We're going to start off by summoning a unit of zombies on their portion of the battlefield, all the while bombarding them with our ranged units, or our mortars and our ranged units, as well as getting that tomb swarm up and running while the zombies are holding the line. There we go. Alrighty, not a lot of damage done to too many units thus far, although this unit of greatswords did kind of get wrecked. I believe it was originally being focused down by our Shade Wraith Gunners, which do okay. We've also immediately popped our Sea Shanty to increase our accuracy and, well, rather our reload skill, and dish out as much damage as possible before the enemy army can close, because once again, they do have some melee units, and we do not. I like the fact that on the flanks we have various different setups, and we don't have like a straight gun lines, because we have guns back here, including a unit of these, not these handguns, where are they? Where did I send you? Oh, they're over here. The hand cannons, which are currently firing into these halberdiers to try to shock them, or stagger them, preventing them from approaching as best they can. And then we have the secondary gun line, not behind them, but like over in the center, over here together with the mortars, which are all trying to get the benefits from the gunnery white. Over here and over here in the centers, we have these melee units, or units that pass for melee, which are zombie-powered gunnery mobs, the hybrid units, a couple melee units. Same thing going on over here, although the zombie-powered gunnery mobs, despite being, you know, melee for our purposes, here are actually getting some decent shots off. Oh, and look, it's Roderick Longuy, rather. I remember him being in the Imperial, or on the Empire side in the not Count Noctilus, this is Count Noctilus in the Vlad campaign. Interesting. Anyway, back to it. The enemy's going to keep trying to charge. Fortunately, we do have a couple of units from our garrison to send in and sacrifice, plus our summoned rotting Prometheans on top of that. There we go. Hey, and actually getting some use out of some deckhand mobs. Oh wow, they exploded at the exact same time and sent these guys flying. I do like that. That certainly worked out. Alrighty, how's that enemy army looking? Pretty bad. They aren't really able to close the distance thus far, and if they can't close the distance, they will not be able to win this. Another use for our handguns over here. We're going to try to flank this unit of handgunners, or our hand cannons, their handguns. Oh wow, these guys are getting ripped apart even before the hand cannons got to shoot them too much. Yeah. They just melted. Alrighty, and just like that, the battle is pretty much over. A really quick one. If we play this something similar again. I probably won't do this cinematically, but it just looks really fun, you know? Once again, it's a lot of range units versus a lot of range units, plus a few melee units. And on top of that, Two-Toe sadly has not gotten a lot of playtime throughout the campaign because of being a relatively new lord, and thus, you know, might as well enjoy this particular line, especially as we also are retrofitting Noctilus's army, which is now going to be a little bit different, or at least soon going to be a little bit different by virtue of those Necrofex Colossi, rather. You gotta love the effects of the Shade Wraith Gunners firing. Anyway, speaking of effects, the effects of all of our fire together have forced the enemy to rout and give up on that. All of the units are basically either very badly damaged or dead, and they never really got to our lines, and the only units that got hurt, I think, was this one unit of zombie pirate gunnery mobs, which had a few seconds of or a few volleys, rather, of fire on it from an enemy unit of handgunners, but otherwise, super easy battle. Alrighty, well, that was obviously way too easy and not worthy, generally speaking, of a cinematic battle, but, I mean, it was still a good old-fashioned shootout, and it looked pretty fun, just watching the ranged units exchange fire like that, especially as it wasn't largely the artillery dishing out all the damage, but mostly the back-and-forth fire, so I think I'll take that. Now, we are starting to run out of cash a little bit, so I guess we're gonna go for ransom captives on you, even though you could use share the loot. Is 2k really gonna make that much of a difference? But also, have we shared... I feel like we've shared loot a bunch of times already on you. Although, it could be on other characters. Who knows at this point. Alrighty, a raiding, foreign trespasser, trait gained, hunted down. This is what I want. Missile strength plus 10% for Lord's Army. I basically want that on everybody. Anybody who doesn't have this is suffering by virtue of not having this, and this is so good in particular for the Vampire Coast. Missile strength plus 10. What do we have here? Refugees of War. Aha, so this is Aranessa. Yes, parts of Sartosa. Obviously, we're going to accept them refugees. Amanar's Resurrection is now also complete. Beautiful. So plus 5 hero capacity for all heroes. And pirate growth rate. As you can see, once again, we're drawing very, very close to the end of the campaign here. Also, we now have 2 gunnery wights in this army. Oh, yep. Range poison attacks. So we're at 97 missile strength on deck droppers with handguns, 82 on the pistols. Still kind of trash on the deck droppers with bombers. Bombers have been a little bit disappointing. Might replace the pistols as well. Anyway, Sartosa. Aranessa, why can't you... This character's wounded. Oh, you're wounded? They will be available in 8 turns. Oh man, that's gonna take a while. And unfortunately, you can't get Sartosans in your armies. We're gonna have to try to figure out something else to put in your army, presuming that we don't end the campaign in 8 turns, although I don't expect that we will. Let's see, you are going to move towards this island. Just have you auto-resolve that. It's just, wait, it's a mysterious island, which means there won't be a fight there. It's just gonna be free money, which we'll take. And there we go, shiny boots and fresh recruits, favorable wins, sure enough. I actually probably should have taken battle performance instead, because we do still have to deal with Clan Scryer and take all this stuff to achieve our objectives. Now, all our technology is gone, so there's no more reason to do anything there. Nocta, what the heck is this? What are you doing? What are you doing, dwarf? This is very strange. Alrighty, maybe they're planning to attack us, and I wouldn't be surprised if they are. How are we doing out here in Sylvania, by the way? Well, Castle Drakenhof still belongs to the Vampire Counts. Schwarzhofen has fallen. Tempelhof also belongs to Sylvania, and Oberstar belongs to Reichland. Well, we're right on time, I should say. Eckendorf, I guess we are gonna move you in here, or do we just start marching all the way to Sylvania now? What do we have to do? Let's just check here. Let's just check. Eastern and Western Sylvania, that's for the major campaign objectives, although we're not going to bother with destroying Reichland and Kurun, obviously. That's a little bit unnecessary. In fact, let's just go to this one. Oh, wait, these objectives don't even list Eastern. Oh, wait, no, yes, they do. Castle Drakenhof, still one of the objectives. Altdorf we can't bother with. 1, 2. If we take Skavenbite, that'll be 3. We need 8 for victory. 3. 4, 5, Eats of the Awakening, 6, 7, Sartosa and the Galleon's Graveyard, and then we'll just need 1 more. Hexoatl is a pretty decent option, as we are getting closer and closer to it with our southern forces. We do need to increase the amount of Necrofexes we have in Noctilus's army as well. Noctis, wait, are you able to build Necrofexes yet? I don't even remember. Wait, go to Akendor for a second. Yes, you can build you can build them. Yes, indeed you can. Okie dokie. So we could just get rid of 2. Wait, we already got rid of 2 of these guys, didn't we? Yeah. Oh man, I really don't want to cripple the gun line by adding too many more Necrofexes, but I do want to get more Necrofexes. Oh wait, we don't even have the capacity to add 2, and I do want at least 2 more. Okay, we'll wait until the capacity is dealt with. I'm probably going to remove these 2 as I was planning to earlier. In fact, maybe we start moving you. Wait, where are you? Wasn't there another reinforcing army? Yeah, that's you. You're carrying the Black Spot and the Zombie-Powered Gunnery Mob. You might as well get those other gunners. Start moving through Myrmidons. We'll do some upgrades in a second. Miragliano, you need walls. You need walls immediately. Especially before we declare war on the Skaven, because they're immediately going to jump in and attack you. Let's get you your Smuggler's Jetty as well. In the plunder pile, I suppose. 1 turn until we can get free money. Ooh, wait. We also gotta get you up and running, friendo. Charlie Jackson, Empire Fleet Captain. What was I doing with you? I don't even remember why I had originally summoned you. I think it had something to do with getting another pirate cove somewhere, or it might have been to do with digging somewhere. But then Wendy's up there, so what are you? Let me just check this. Treasure maps, pieces of 8. Not this, not this, not... Not that, not that. No, it's not digging. I can't for the life of me remember why I summoned you. Devious. Hero action cost minus 10%. Might as well. It was probably something to do with... Oh, wait. Whitefire Tort? No, you're not generating a lot of cash. Evershale. There's something I'm missing here that is generating an absolute ton of cash. I had to have summoned you for the purpose of getting more of these up and running. Probably something up here. Not the Twisted Glade. Looks like... Wow, what the heck? Worldwalkers are running around all over this place. Interesting. And we're good here. Oh, whatever. Whatever, you guys keep moving. I'll figure it out. When we find something. Oh, maybe it was something... Oh, it's to Arnheim. It's to send you to Arnheim. But then again, Wendy could have moved down there. Either way, you're not joining this army. Who is joining this army? It's going to have to be a couple more Vampire Fleet Captains. We're at 8 out of 17, so we can freely get as many as we'd like. A disciplined one with the lore of vampires, though. You are lore of the... You're lore of death. Okay, so we can go with the lore of vampires for you. Perfect. Alright, I'll take that. I'll definitely take that. If you're the lore of death, we will take the lore of vampires with you, and then the lore of depths. So we have an access to everything. You have aggressive and fleet-footed. I don't particularly like either one, so I guess we can wait a turn, because this army's not finished yet anyway. And I'll take care of the skill points at some point. Now, what was I going to do with you, other than get ogres? We get, say, 4 ogres. Actually, we're basically good. Oh, wait, we need to get the big crabs. The really big crabs. Okay, fine. 10k to start, and then it'll take 5 turns. Man, it's gonna take a while. Wait, do we have this completed in the Awakening, perhaps? No, it's also not maxed out. Damn it. Oh, it would be cheaper and faster to do it in the Awakening, so let's do it in the Awakening. No wink, unfortunately. Alrighty, Burke Black, you also need your anchor for pirate crew growth. And I guess I always forget which one it is going to be. I think it is this one. Yes, okay, so go for the anchor. You are not going to attack Wolfheart. You are going to move... How do we do this? Wait. If you do this... I need Luther Harkin to get this. Alright, so move right here, go into ambush. Let's hope that he goes to Talaxland, and then we can promptly attack it. And then get that buff for you, Harkon. And there we go. And then obviously... Move down here to Chakwa. Can you attack Zahootek with what you have left? Yeah, you probably can. Let's not risk it. Let's do this. And then let's give you a back alley right there. Not going to go for the haunted back house, though. Blockhouse. Back house. Not quite what I was thinking. Alrighty, Count Noctilus. Since you are not going to construct any further necrofixes for now, at least, let's proceed you to Castle Drakenhof. I do want you to take it. We'll be trespassing on Empire territory. Wait, can you sack this? 17k, it's not bad. In fact, I would like you to sack this. You don't need to heal up, do you? No, you're good. You're good. Move forward, sack Grenstad. And then, oh man, although, if you sack it... Ooh, hello, what do we have back here? Boris Todbringer. And Volkmar the Grim. Some nice stuff. And we'll kill them if they get in our way. If they run, then, you know, they're behaving appropriately. Alrighty, Silostra, you. We've already done this particular longship graveyard. Dietershofen was our next location, right? So let us land at Dietershofen and do the exact same thing. Get another one of these. Well done to Silostra. Been very instrumental in a lot of the cash that we've gotten throughout this campaign. Decisive victory auto result, please. This is just way too trash to bother with fighting. And then we will obviously... Do we want to sack it or... Nah, you know what? It's not that big of a difference. I'll just go straight up Fire Cove. There you go. And hey, another banner of burnt banner of knights. Too bad we don't have a lot of knights to get good use out of that. Now you're gonna go into an camp stance, then you're gonna proceed down to Norden, Ehrengrad, and Bay of Blades, and that'll be all these territories. That'll be. Well, I guess we can also move up this way. Ooh, also I completely forgot about this. Well, it's kind of concerning. Are you gonna attack this, or are you gonna? I'll watch him move past and attack the Citadel of Aled instead. That would be quite the annoyance. Are you able to raise any more dead? Just one bloated corpse, and thus a bloated corpse you shall raise. I actually expected you to attack. Oh, wow. If they attack together, you have absolutely no chance, do you? You could keep recruiting, I guess. Although I doubt you're going to get anything. We want to get a couple of regular ogre units. Yeah, go for it. We're not going to bother with the ogre cav in here, because they're just... I expect all these units to die anyway. Also, what level were you? Oh wait, this is our legendary, oh right. Oh, I should have given you armor and things. Probably too late, I would expect. Let's give you a wailing banner, and another wailing banner, another wailing banner, and damn, I was hoping for more wailing banners. Just for the purpose, if nothing else, of making a weaker units a little bit stronger. I'm not going to give you the Banner of Swiftness because I don't want to give you anything that we're likely to lose that is valuable. So you can take the Standard of Discipline. And do we have any other Standards of Discipline? Yes, we do. Give you Wailing Banners and Standards of Discipline all over the place. Was that the last one? Did I go past it? Yeah, it looks like the last one. Alrighty, you can have those. You are immortal unless I'm mistaken, so we don't actually care if you die, so we can freely give you items. Book of Ashur, you know what, let's give you a Forbidden Rod. Oh, you know what, let's get your Trickster Shard, because I don't want you failing your cast. Let's give you a Terrifying Mask of E for more terror. You're gonna be real terrifying. Tide Call, I would like to not lose this when you inevitably die. Oh wait, all these items won't get on you though, right? You know, I'll put this on. Maybe they won't attack. Maybe they won't. You know, no, I definitely don't want to lose these though. Let's give you an enchanted shield for now. We'll see how you manage with this. Although, once again, I really doubt it'll be very well. Unless we get some real good use out of our bloated corpses, but the armies here are still absolute trash. Man. Lamprey's Revenge. I'm thinking, what if we get you a couple of ogre... Oh, wait. These are too expensive. Even if we cancel stuff, we probably... Yeah, whatever. Screw it. It's not a big enough deal for it to matter. Anybody else need to move this turn? Tuto Zadley, you can just stay where you are for now. Margaret, Robin, you don't need to move, but Margaret, I do believe, does. She was going to go to Dreadrock and then establish that Pirate Cove. Expensive though it will be. Dreadrock is making a very decent amount of cash. I guess Dragonfang Mount is another possibility, although not nearly as decent. Are you guys fighting? Oh yeah, Thorgrim's down here fighting, so maybe he'll be too distracted with the last defenders to attack us. Anyway, unassigned skill points we shall skip. And then I believe we shall end the turn. Go. Let's see if the Norskins attack. Now, if they do that, I think will be a very nice battle. Alright, Reichland, taking Fort Oberstyre. Yeah, the vampires are losing all their territory. Well, it's good that we've arrived to take stuff over. Manny. Yes, silly Manny. Non-aggression pact, no, buddy. We're coming for you. Or at least Noctilus is. Are they going to attack? Yes, indeed, they are close to defeat. Really? I doubt that it'll be close. I expect them to do very well here. They have double the army. And the problem with this is also that we don't really have any way to stop these chariots. We have one unit of depth guard with pole arms. Man, if I only had given you these items before this. Oh well. Too bad, we'll have to deal with that as it is. Obviously, I'm going to make a cut here because the previous battle was a cinematic battle, and I guess this one should be as well. At the very least, it'll be an epic death for you guys, and Silostra will come back and deal with that. Anyway, here comes the cut. Alrighty, there's the cut, and I'm at least somewhat excited about this battle. At the very least, I'm hoping we get some nice use out of our bloated corpses. It really depends on how the AI behaves, which we will find out right about now. Alrighty, now I am very excited for this battle on the one hand, just by virtue of the fact that since we're very likely to lose, honestly, I would be worried about one of these armies, specifically this one with its, what was it, 5 chariots, and its 5 Norscan Ice Wolves and a pair of Manticores. Those are going to be very tough for our relatively weak army to take down. But anyway, there's a complication, and that is, as you guys know, replays in this game don't quite work right, or at least they don't always work quite right, and this is unfortunately one of those times. I did try to comment over the first time I went over the replay, and it turned into a rather different result than what I was originally expecting after playing it. And I'm going to try to pinpoint exactly what is different, because the orders are all the same, and I can see that the units still all move where they were supposed to move, but some differences occurred, and well, anyway, we'll try to pinpoint them. It should be a really fun battle regardless. So here we go. The enemy are going to charge with their chariots right into us, and obviously we are going to try to focus them down with our range units as much as possible, although not doing a crazy amount of damage as yet. If this was Noctilus's army, several of these chariots would have obviously actually, I feel like all 4 of these or 5 of these units of chariots would have been destroyed before they could reach us. But hey, this isn't even Tuto's Adley's army, so it's not even specialized for range, and we only have 3 handguns. In fact, speaking of handguns, this is our setup. Fortunately, we do have this hill, so it is quite the advantage there. We have a single line up top with our units of handguns, plus the deck droppers waiting to add their fire support wherever they can. Then a second tier just below them of the hybrid gunnery mobs, i.e. the ones that are sword and pistol, and then just below that we have our line of sacrificial garbage units, aka our deckhands mobs. We are trying to keep them relatively on the edges here to surround or to prevent the enemy rather from flanking us. Don't know how that's going to be effective. We're also going to keep the ogres and the depth guard and, well, the other unit of ogres in reserve, and same with the units of bloated corpses ready to apply themselves wherever the enemy blobs up, if indeed they choose to do so. And I'm hoping that the ogres with their massive armor piercing can do a little bit of decent damage to the Marauder Ice Wolf chariots, because those things are pretty heavily armored, and 90 armor, 89, so yeah, definitely not something our deckhands mobs can deal with. Anyway, here we go. Chariots are basically running amok. We can't really stop them, unfortunately, with our units, as all of our deckhands mobs are the regular types. I should have probably summoned polearm deckhands mobs rather than these guys. Yeah, that should have... yeah, that was my mistake. it's not like you can expect these guys to do damage anyway, and polearms are, generally speaking, more effective at the job of holding the line, so yeah. And I believe, generally speaking, most people don't even use these, the dual sword guys, the regular zombie pirate deckhands mob, but all polearms, which does make sense. Anyway, over in the center, we have summoned a Rotting Promethean regular mob, just a Rotting Prometheans, together with our Vampire Fleet Admiral, who are going to at the same time go after the enemy Marauder Chieftain and hold this Fimir Balefiend, who is now getting shot by all of our range units, or at least all the range units that can reach this thing. We obviously want to kill the casters as fast as possible, and that one goes down really fast under concentrated fire, which is quite nice. It looks like this Marauder Ice Wolf Chariot is also in a bad way. I did try to also move in our Ogres over here to try to combat the enemy Giant Pile of Norscan Ice Wolves, but the Ice Wolves just ripped into those Ogres like nothing. We've also used our Sea Shanty, and I was hoping with the 50 or so, 55 melee defense that the Ogres have with the Sea Shanty, they would be able to hold and apply their monstrous infantry splash damage to the pile of Norscan Ice Wolves, but yeah, they died way too fast, and that didn't really achieve much. Oh well, at least they slightly damaged one chariot unit. I've generally been pretty disappointed in Ogres, but hey, Ogre Kingdoms are coming, and I expect they'll be a lot better. Also, now we are moving in our first units of Bloated Corpses. This one is trying to decide where to move, and I believe I ended up thinking, okay, something needs to be done about those damn Ice Wolves. And then over here, we have on trying to go into this formation. Unfortunately, it looks like it just gets caught on this chariot. Yeah, it got caught on the chariot, and instead of moving right into the center of the enemy formation, still damages quite a lot of enemies, but not nearly as many as I would have liked to. Damn you, chariot. Should have moved it to the side. I wasn't expecting it to just like slightly touch the chariot and then explode, but hey, whatever. Bloated corpses just tend to do that. So our unit obviously also died. That was the Tide of Skjold, ironically enough. The only one of these deckhands mobs that can hold the line reasonably well. 59 melee defense versus the 48. Yeah, but oh well. They're dead now. We're going to move as a regular zombie pirate deckhands mob. If only that Bloated Corpse had also destroyed these two units, that would have been really quite helpful. Otherwise, the enemy Shaman Sorcerer is now also in here with the Feral Manticore and that Marauder Chieftain, so all their elites are essentially dropping in here to fight our Rotting Prometheans and our own Admiral, while the rest of the enemy units are just still trying to break through our lines and getting shot by our various gunnery mobs. At least we're still holding the line. That's a nice thing about all this. But you gotta remember that the second army is coming. This is just the first army, and the balance of power is definitely very much in their favor. And as soon as they break through our first line, we will only have the gunnery mobs able to defend. I feel like maybe I used the Sea Shanty a little bit too early, but my reasoning here was we should be able to use that to try to damage the first army as much as possible before we have to rely on very limited units to try to take out the first and the second. So maybe. That was the plan anyway. Alrighty, at this point we have one Bloated Corpse remaining. We are going to try to put it where it counts, at least soonish. Looks like our Rotting Promethean gunnery mob is almost overwhelmed and dead over here, and I do believe our... looks like our Admiral is being chased around by the enemy Marauder Chieftain, but that does put him in range of various guns, so that's probably a good thing for us. And there we go, moved him away so that we can summon a second unit of Rotting Prometheans. Once again, defensive units are really quite effective, as even though they are disintegrating due to our lack of mana, they do take quite a while to bring down for the enemy. It looks like the Marauder Chieftain tries to get away, but get ripped apart by the various guns. Very, very nice on that. I do believe they still have a second Lord, plus another Fimir Balefiend well down here. There we go, there's this one of Shadows. We're going to try to focus all those down. In the meantime, some of the enemy units of Norscan Ice Wolves have charged, but have been broken by our zombie pirate gunnery mob with the bats firing into their backs. So at least that's working out quite well. Finally, I believe this is our last unit of Bloated Corpse, and I guess he's trying to run around these Ice Wolves and these chariots. Man, those chariots could have charged him. He doesn't even know what to do anymore. There we go. It's all you, Bloated Corpse. Try to get through this. You are getting uncomfortably close to... Oh man, this one wolf died. Yeah, that could have been very dangerous. Oh, a tide call going down on this bob, and this is where we are trying to deliver our bloated corpse right now. Ooh. So damn dangerous. And where is our lord in this? Ah, okay, see this. This is what didn't happen the first time I played it. Everything else is occurring, but the Lord was actually able to get out of this formation, whereas here it seems that the enemy brings down the Admiral for whatever reason the replay is. One of the reasons I had summoned these Rotting Prometheans was to keep the enemies away from our Lord, and he completely survived. Odd. I wonder why it was that particular thing. Thus far, nothing else has been different. Our depth guard with pole arms have killed an enemy feral manticore when they got committed. Everything seems fine. Anyway, at least this bloated corpse is now starting to move in, hopefully into their formation. There we go, much better than the other ones. Yes, there we go. Glorious. Finally some proper usage of that thing. Alrighty, and that absolutely, well, it doesn't annihilate the entire flank, but it certainly cripples a bunch of units and dishes out an absolute ton of damage. So well done to that bloated corpse, even though we are now Admiral-less. We gotta keep going. Balance of power is still about 25-75% in the enemy's favor. We're also dropping down, as you can see, a Tomb Swarm down on the enemy over here. Oh, we got, is that a Fimir Stalker unit? What do we have here? Yep, Fimir Stalker's in here. I was like, these are very, very large units. Oh, and a Fimir Mirror has charged in. I guess that's the Lord of the Second Army. Or Lady of the Second Army. Still 25-75. Our melee lines are basically dead at this point. The Depth Guard are also dying. The Depth Guard never died the first time. Huh. Okay, so it seems like the Lord and the Depth Guard, neither of them followed orders to retreat, interestingly enough, because this didn't happen. They were chasing around enemy units of chariots and manticores and stuff like that. Oh, and they did definitely go after and kill the Shaman Sorcerer, I believe, or at least got him off the field, but then they were able to get out. Wonder why they die here. What happened here? I'm actually not sure what they're doing. Yeah, they're still clearly trying to follow an order that no longer exists. Look at this. They're following a unit of Fimir Stalkers, which I clearly told them to kill the first time, but this unit is all the way back here. This being after they have presumably killed the Shaman Sorcerer. Yeah, so something went wonky with this replay. Interesting. So are they still trying to follow that order? No, now they've given up and are just sort of standing still. Interesting. And also, one of our units of deck droppers is flying over the units of Marauder Hunters with Javelins. I also don't think that happened. Whoa, what the heck? And these ones are dropping down onto this Marauder Icewolf chair. Oh, okay, so that's different as well. So originally, these guys stayed in the air, and the only time they dropped down was on enemy units like the Chariots and the Ice Wolves that were running away as they were chasing them off the map. Clearly, the order is still being followed, but in this particular case, this Chariot unit stayed alive. Yeah, anyway, at this point, the battle turns completely differently than what happened. Our melee lines should have still been overwhelmed, and so should our range lines. But the way that this battle was essentially changed here was the idea was to wait for this. Amanar's Resurrection Vortex, whatever the hell the ability itself is called. It's a pretty cool damn ability, too. Yeah, we were waiting for this. The goal was to hold long enough against the enemy army to be able to summon the Vortex and destroy as many enemies as possible. I also note that the Vortex is not quite in the right position, probably because the enemy units are not quite in the positions that they should be. But anyway, we held the line. We had like a few units remaining up top, pretty much all the range units and no melee units whatsoever, and just holding back on the very top of the hill, waiting to summon the Vortex and have it destroy the enemy for us. That was the idea behind the battle, and indeed, in the first time I played it, or I mean, I only played it once. The first time I played it in the sense that this is the second replay I'm covering. This worked out quite well. It was a massive area of effect, and there were a lot of units that got caught in it and absolutely annihilated. Unfortunately, it looks like this time, because our lord died where he shouldn't have, our army just disintegrates. The units left are roughly the same, I think, in terms of the ones that survive to the end, but here they disintegrate without the lord. A little bit weird, but oh well, it happens. I don't remember if it's happened in this particular campaign before, but yeah, as you know, the replays are quite wonky. So, spoiler alert, we did win this particular battle. The results screen is going to show what actually happened rather than why this replay doesn't work. Hey, at least it's not nearly as bad as Troy Total War, where nearly, or not even nearly, every single replay didn't work. At least with Warhammer, only it's like 1 out of every, I don't know, 20 or so, maybe even not that, maybe 1 out of every 50 that doesn't quite work correctly. But it does happen. I feel like most of the time you just don't notice the very slight differences that occur. But anyway, the enemy army ran, and it was such a close damn thing. I'm quite disappointed that the replay didn't work, because it was really down to the wire there. And the enemy routed like just before completely obliterating our force as they got that Amanar's Resurrection Vortex spawned on top of them. Oh, and it looks like, you see this? You see what's happening here? The enemy army is running around even though we have no units left on the field anywhere. It's because the replay is still going because it knows that the battle lasted longer than this, and at this point we are chasing enemy units down and killing them. If this was a functioning replay, the battle would have ended because we don't have any units on the field. This is actually very weird. Like, look at this. Yeah, so it's just gonna keep going while... so what did the enemy units do? They keep running around. So they're getting new orders that they wouldn't have gotten before. And a lot of their army is still running off the field, but yeah, we'd be chasing enemies right now. And I'm actually very curious to see how long this goes on, and what the enemy does. Odd to see the... oh, there we go. Close a defeat, apparently, but it's clearly bugged. Here's what really happened in terms of the... results screen. Man, oh man, what a battle. I enjoyed that one so freaking much. And just being saved at the very last second. Our army is about to crumble, so few units left, all the melee dead. The ogres routed, the lord almost ready to rout and very badly hurt. I think it was 4 or so units, maybe 6 units left on top of the hill there. And then the Amanar casts come in and force the enemy army to rout. Absolutely glorious. Now, unfortunately, they at least have quite a lot of units left, and I wouldn't be surprised if they tried to attack us again next turn, but still. Well done. One of those bloated corpses got 337 kills as well. Quite well. Unfortunately, the enemy did not blob up enough for us to get too much value out of the rest of them, although, I mean, 10k apiece is not too bad. It's just kind of, I mean, when a unit of deckhands mobs does 7k, it's a little bit weak. I was also pretty disappointed in the ogres, and the fact that they got absolutely ripped apart by those Norscan ISOs. Now, granted, it's not too surprising, because I am generally disappointed in ogres, but still. And, well, I guess the depth-guarded polearms are one super elite unit, and I mean, not even that super elite, to be perfectly honest, depth guard. Are, I suppose, just one regular elite unit. Did very well with that 20k damage, very much ahead of everybody except our lord, who got casts off Tide Call, I suppose. Anyway, we're going to heal up as much as we can, just because we might get attacked again. I hope these guys don't attack us again, will they? Can they? I mean, they do have 2 armies here. Okay, no, they're just going to sit out there. Ooh, and we are getting some new troops in here. They didn't siege after doing that, although they probably should have. Certainly what I would have done in their place. Ambush foiled by Luther Harkin. That's unfortunate. Hopefully you... what? He ran away. Damn it. Oh, that is so annoying. Okay, well, Luther Harkin, you can take Talaxan. Where the hell did Wolfheart go? I wonder if he's hiding somewhere. Well, either way, we're gonna know how to resolve this. Damn it. Oh well, I'm still riding the high of that being a pretty damn awesome battle. Be at war with Clark Current. Why did that get aborted as soon as we took this? Are you back here? Yeah, you're back here. Wolfheart, I guess, while we're coming for you. Be at war with Hag Grief. Maybe we can do that. If we lay siege, doesn't really matter. Also, we are definitely now, I guess, out of time. In fact, no, I guess about it. So I am going to have to call this episode here. Next time, we complete the takeover of Lustria and most likely destroy Wolfheart's faction for good, although maybe he'll be able to survive at the Monument of the Moon. I suppose we will we'll have to find out on that one. If we get this army maxed out, especially... Yeah, if we get this army maxed out, we could sail it over there and then start attacking Hexoatl to try to achieve our campaign victory objectives. Noctilus is probably also going to start marching to Castle Drakenhof, which we will hopefully be able to take for ourselves, and sort of just base up with Noctilus there, and just to ride out at the end of the campaign, because I doubt he's going to go anywhere further other than here. He's just going to go back, and it'll be a homecoming to Sylvania, so I think that'll be appropriate. Otherwise, yeah, the main goal of the next episode is probably going to be Lustrian stuff. Maybe we'll get something out of Silostra, but honestly, I don't think anything on the map that's up here is any kind of threat to her army, so I really, really doubt it. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that particular battle with that very close win. I certainly did. Stay tuned next time for Lustrian action, and we'll just use this right away. Yeah, stay tuned next time for more Empire killing and more vampire good stuff as we get on closer and closer to the end. So with that said, as always, I do appreciate any and all feedback with regards to the gameplay or the way I do things on this channel. Don't forget to leave a like and comment for your friendly neighborhood heretic. All glory to the algorithm, and thanks for watching.